Welcome to another video from PixLogik. In today's video I'm going to be changing the star to a coin. I have GIMP open in front of me and I have created a coin sprite sheet and I have saved it. So I'm going to move straight on into Unity. I'm going to import the coin sprite sheet. It's a multiple. We'll go with 16. Point and none. And we now have our coins all nicely sliced up. I'm going to add one onto my scene. I'm going to create an animation for it. Okay, now for this one, because there's more than a couple, we will take the whole lot and we will drag them up. Open this up, we'll zoom in slightly. Now, as of 6, I'm going to make this 5 frames per second, so we'll just drag this out and it opens them all out. I'll put it to 30. Let's play that, see how it looks. There we go, I've got a spinning coin. I'm going to delete that one. Going to go into our prefabs, retro star, open the prefab, back to our sprites, change the sprite, and change the animation. Oh, we need to add an animator to this. There we go, and drop that in. Press play. We now have some spinning coins on the screen rather than the stars. Going to test the counter still works, so I'm going to move my character up to here. That works fine. Perfect. Now we're going to work on our character. Okay, I'm going to go into my sprites folder and I'm going to import the character sprites that I've made up. We will start with idle. And we'll go 16. Multiple, point and none. Now this one's 32, so I'm just going to change that. Slice. I'm going to set up the animation for the idle, so we'll just drag one up. Click on our animation and create, and we will call this idle. Just drag them up, and I'm actually going to do 30 frames per second between these. And I'm also going to take the first sprite and pull it up and pop it on this 60. Press play. And we've got our idle animation. I'm going to create a new folder, call it character, call it player character. I'm going to drag my idle sprite in there. Just to keep this tidy, we can put all our character sprites in this folder. I'm going to do the same in animation. In which we've got idle at the moment. There we go. Now I'm going to import the run Spritesheet. There we go. And same sense. Create an animation for the run. Five frames per second for this one, so we'll take him up to 45. Press play. That looks smooth enough. Next we will do the climb. Okay. Let's go for jump next. Now jump is only going to have one sprite. So as you see, jump is just going to be a static image, but it works when you see the animation all joined together. Now we need a fall. Now we're also going to need a climb idle. So I'm just going to take this image, rename it to climb idle, create an animation for it. There we go. Now I think I've added them all. So select your idle sprite sheet, go to your animations, click on the animator for idle sprite sheets, double click it and it should open up your animator window. Scroll out. Now if you right click on any state and make transition to idle, let's drag up jump, then fall, run, climb, and climb idle. Just make a transition to every one of these from any state. Okay, now in here you're going to have to put in your parameters. So we're going to have alive, idle, walking. Now these are all bills so far. Grounded, ladder climbing, now we're going to go into floats, ladder climbing speed X, Y, Y speed, and lastly X speed. Okay, so if we go from any state to idle, you have to put a condition in here, so that'll be idle is true. Can transition to self, we'll tick off. Transition duration we will put to 0. Any state to fall. Again, untick can transition to self, change transition duration to 0. Conditions, grounded is false. Ladder climbing is false. And speed Y is less than 0. And walking is false. Jump. Grounded is false. Ladder climbing is false. Walking is false. Y speed is greater than 0. Next, go on to run. And for run, it is just simply walking is true. Climb. Ladder climbing is true, and ladder climbing speed y is greater than 0.1. Climb idle. Ladder climbing is true, and ladder climbing speed y is less than 0.1. And the same for x. Okay. Let's go back into our scene, and we're going to delete the run, climb, jump, fall and climb idle sprites. Leaves this one. We're going to add a component character. Now if we open that up and we change the script here to player, and then if you scroll down you'll see auto build player character. So we'll hit that and it will add everything we need. I'm going to take off crouch, dash, dive, dangling, jetpack, cup, grip. Okay, we'll leave the rest. Now if I press play, now we still get this other character falling down here, but we're testing our little animation. Let's go to maximize so we get a better view. Okay, that seems to be working. Ladder climb. Okay, we have to set his sprite renderer to player. That should put him in front of the ladders. And now what we need to do is fix his rigid body. Let's scroll in here. Now he should be able to climb to the top of the ladders. And he picks up the coin. Okay. Now if we go into Level Manager, Player Prefabs, if we now drop in our idle sprite sheet, which I'm going to rename to Player Character, and I'm going to create a prefab with that. Going to delete this one. Back into Level Manager. Drag him up to there. Now if we press play, there we go, he becomes our character. Now we'll go back into animations to have a look at something quickly. Into the player animation. Now the idle sprite, all these parameters are within the Corgi script. It does come with documentation and it does tell you what parameters are there. So that's where I got all these. Okay, they're already scripted in. I'm going to leave it there today because this video's got quite long, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for joining me. Goodbye.